What's up, everybody? It's your girl Megan, show fitness instructor, and today I'm going to talk about my experience taking the Cscs exam and how I was able to pass in less than 6 weeks. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I am our in-person instructor here in La Jolla, California, as well as our online instructor for our Past NASM and ACE CPT course. Thanks to the help of our study guide and weekly Zoom calls, we've been able to help over 3,000 people pass the thing. So if you're trying to do so, go ahead, comment below, or you can also reach me out on Instagram at active ACT7VE, as well as at show fitness internships. How did I prepare for the test? Well, just how we have a course on to pass NASM and ACE, we also have a course to pass the CSCS and advanced programming. Now, with that, you're also going to get the study guide, as well as weekly Zoom calls every Monday and Thursday at 2 p.m. PST time. Those calls are recorded, so if you cannot attend them live, you can always rewatch them at your own convenience. Now, the main reason, not only in passing, but able to pass this exam in less than 6 weeks, are going to be these two resources, the guide and the calls. Because most people, if they do pass, once again, it's a 57% pass rate for the test. So if they do pass, it's usually 6 months to a year that people take to do that. And that's because the book that they have is 700 pages. It's a lot of information, and there's usually studying a lot of extra resources out there, getting different guides, different exams, trying to overstudy, right? It's an overload of information. Our guide is gonna break it down, so you're not gonna have to read that entire book. Just stick to the key points that we addressed in the guide, as well as the calls. I think the calls is one of the biggest thing as well, because a book, you're reading it, you're not sure why an answer is what. During the calls, you can get that feedback from our instructors, Brock and Chris. Both have their CSCS, a huge background in actually training athletes. I mean, are you gonna take a guide or other resources where they have never actually trained an individual? So these things are actually very helpful, and were the only things, like I said, once again, that I used to pass the course. The calls were great because not only did we go over the study guide, the example questions that we have, we also had special guest speakers like Tony Gentilcore on there. So you get insight from other fitness professionals, as well as breakdowns of actual movement patterns. So during the test, there's two portions. You have a practical portion, as well as a scientific foundation. You're gonna get videos on portions of that, and it's gonna be breakdown of movements and everything. So the book has pictures, but you're gonna see actual videos of that, and you're gonna have to determine, what athlete is doing right or wrong, or if they're doing the correct form. It's gonna be really hard to determine by just reading the book, but the videos that we guys show you and the breakdown is very helpful. And once again, knowing not only what the correct answer is, but why it is correct, and for the NSCA standards of all of that. So once again, use just these resources only, nothing else, in order to pass the test. The test itself, like I said, is two portions. The practical, which is 125, but only 15 are off, so it's 110. And then the scientific foundation, which is 95, 15 are off, so 80. So just like the NASM one, there's gonna be questions that aren't counted towards your grade. But overall, you have two tests. You have a little break in between, a 15-minute break. If you choose so, you can do to take it. I chose not to. I flew by it. I think my test was at 12:30. I ended at 3. So I was feeling good about everything because how I prepared for the test. Obviously, I came to some questions that I was like, what the heck? Probably those weird ones that don't get graded. And then some of them that I didn't also study as much as I could have, but we still stressed in the guide. And then I just skipped past them. So I took my time, but I also didn't go back and go over every question and second guess myself too much. I was confident in all the knowledge that I had gained in the calls and studying the guide that I was going to pass. And so when I was done and I pressed finish, I knew that I was going to. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like when you come into the test, you don't know what to expect, right? And that's why the guide and the calls are gonna prepare you on what the test is actually gonna look like and help you determine what is the correct answer. Because the harder thing about this one is not which one is good, it's which one's the best, right? There's 3 options on the test. One of them's clearly not. The 2 other ones could be correct, but which one's the best for that scenario? And we break it down obviously more in the calls and the study guide on what you need to know, but a big portion is going to be athlete profiles and determining what's the best programming for them in season, post-season, nutrition-wise, being able to decipher what's the best option for them. So once again, these calls and the guide that we have are going to help prepare you for that and make you feel more confident. But also, just like the NASM test, once you pass that, that doesn't mean that you're gonna feel ready still to train athletes. And what I mean by that is it's just a test again, right? It's just that piece of paper. Where's the practical hands-on portion where you gain experience? And that's the great thing that we do have with our in-person internships that provide those options, as well as our seminars, so you can gain that practice, or you can even go to another internship at a college or other school. You need to gain that hands-on experience before you start training other athletes. Importantly, not only are we here for you guys to help pass the NASM CPT or the CSCS, we're here for you guys to gain the actual knowledge and hands-on experience so you can make this a long-lasting and successful career. So if you guys are interested in furthering your personal career and interested in our internships, our seminars, our level 1 coach, go ahead and make sure to contact me by dropping a comment below or message me on Instagram at active ACT7VE, as well as at Show Up Fitness Internship. We're also on TikTok, so go ahead and follow us there. And of course, you can message me on my email at meagan@showupfitness.com. Find us on our website, www.showupfitness.com. And remember, all you guys gotta do is show up. It's your girl Megan, out of here.